Shalom, shalom, beautiful people. How you doing? Once again, the Nubian King on the air for you just because we love you. And I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe, so I can get up off of this 174 subscribers. But listen, do not think that I don't appreciate you. The 174 subscribers that I had, the last count, I understand that you all are some of the intellects because this channel is actually for intellects, people that are considered smart, that can think. All right. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, because we're not like the wild and outs and doing all kind of wacky things to try to get likes and get that type of thing. On this particular channel, we discuss several different subjects with intelligence, share information, and sometimes just talk, because sometimes you get to a point where you just really want to talk. So go ahead and hit your subscribe button if you haven't, and also the like, right? And the bell so you can get the notification bell, because we talk about various subjects here. You know, we it's like off the beaten path over here with the Nubian King, because my objective is to share things with you to cause you to think, and also with an objective to offer solution to the things that we're dealing with a focus on my people, you know, and I'm not uncomfortable with saying my people. I'm not uncomfortable specifically focusing on my people. It's nothing wrong with that. All other people focus on their people. You understand? So I'm talking about my people, and um, we right now, my people, we're in a crisis like never before, and we're in a crisis in between our ears. That's where my people crisis is at, in the way we think, the way we see things, the way we understand things as a people. We have a lot of our people that are clear, and some of them have actually done what most are afraid to do, that separate themselves from those that hate us. Separate themselves. They have separated themselves from those that have proven time and time again that they don't give a flying flip about us. They like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to find somewhere else to live that would offer me an opportunity to live in peace right now. They're not part of that group of family members that feel America is the only place and the greatest place in the world to live. Now, due to the internet and other individuals like myself that have exodus out of America, they've discovered beyond their belief that, hey, there is somewhere else to live besides America. And you can see what's taking place right now. You don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar or Alpha Cum Laude or whatever with a doctor's degree to see that it has changed. You see, when you look at the raid that they did on the ex-president Trump, now you can like Trump or hate Trump, whatever. I'm not looking at Trump, the man, the individual, whether you like him or don't like him. I'm looking at the fact that they raided a U.S. president. Whether he was the best or the worst, he still was the president. And they went in there like he was just any common criminal and snatched up a bunch of stuff. You see, some people are sitting around waiting on something to say, oh, we at war, or America is falling, or the deep state, or the new world order. It's like They waiting on something to tell them that. And they don't even realize that you already have been taken over. For them to be able to go in and raid the facilities, the private residence of a U.S. president, never before in the history of the country have that ever even been thought of. So why can they do this today? You see, you have to consider the bigger picture. If they could do that to a white man that was the president, what the hell you think you got coming? You're talking about the deep state. We've heard about the deep state. We've heard about the New World Order. We've heard about Klaus Schwab. We hear all this stuff. But right before your very eyes, they've already rolled out the new agenda. Because what can be done? What can be done? They are in control of the police force. They're in control of the National Guard. They're in control of the Coast Guard. They're in control of the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. What can be done? If they decide to raid your house, like at the same time they raided President Trump, ex-President Trump, however you want to call it, at the same time they raided his facility, they raided the African facility, African nationalists. You know, these brothers and sisters have been working for the betterment of the African American community for 50 years. I listened to the director. He's 81. Very intelligent, eloquent spoken brother, 81. And was laying out the facts of how they have been in the African American community assisting and doing many great things. I wasn't aware myself. I've been here 61 years. I have no idea they was doing that. But I listened to him explain how they raided their facilities also. The national headquarters, some of the branch, you know. So now you have to stop and step back a little bit and not be so close that you see just a picture, to where you step back and see a portrait of what's really happening. If they could raid the president facility, he's the ex-president, but again, he was the president. What do you think you got coming? Black people. Now, you know, look, I'm all about that exodus. Because if they're in control of all of that firepower and you don't have it, what in the hell do you expect to do? If that man is standing there with the guns and the bombs and controlling the military, and he can sick them on you at the whims, and then they raid the brother and sisters facility, don't they have a search warrant? You're supposed to have a search warrant. You go in, you see, and they throw a flashbang, bam, bust the door and say, "Come out, get your ass out." And then the brother said, "Okay, so what is the reason that you're doing this?" He said, "We have a search warrant." He said, "Okay, let me see the search warrant." He said, "It's not here, it's on the way." But you're supposed to, by law, present the search warrant so you can go in the facilities and do what you got to do. Signed by a judge and all that official stuff. They didn't have none of that. But they still did it, because what you all haven't woke up and realized is that one simple thought: what are you going to do about it? The FBI shows up at your house, suited and booted, strapped armed to the T. What are you going to do? Call a lawyer? What are you going to do? You're on handcuffs sitting outside the house? You understand? So when you say America doesn't change, yeah, it definitely has changed. And all of those people that voted, how does that vote work out for you now? You talking about Democrats and Republicans, they're all the same team. They're all the same team. Why? Nothing really changed. If the Democrats in power, if the Republican in power, your paycheck stays the exact same. The only way you can get some money, you got to do something for the people you working for. Hope you get a raise, but you can't write your congressman or the president. They got a job. And the main thing you see them doing is working for themselves. All these meetings that they are talking about on the news, you know, when they tell you, oh, they met with this president and that world leaders. And, you know, I'm sitting there listening to this crap like, they really think we interested in that? Because what the hell, you know, I mean, Biden goes to some foreign country. Is that news to me? Hell no. Why? Him going to a foreign country, how the hell is that going to benefit me? How is it going to benefit you? You click the news on and, oh, Joe Biden, he traveled to some country, the Bahrain, whatever. What the hell that got to do with me? The guy that's paying me the money that I need to keep the roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in my stomach, says, be to work tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we're not working on Friday. What the hell did Joe Biden going to some country got to do? You see what I'm saying? How you can be super stupid? You know what I'm saying? It's like, who picked what goes on the news? Because the typical person in America, in Israel, in Africa, Canada, France, we out here on these jobs for those of us that's fortunate enough to have jobs. And we are simply endeavoring to have a life. You understand? And a lot of people, to my surprise, they're not even really interested in being rich and wealthy. You understand? They just want to be comfortable and at peace. And it has nothing to do with skin color nowadays. In 2022, it ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Everybody, black, white, green, red, yellow, poor, they just want to be comfortable and at peace with their families. That's it. Okay, so why not just do that? If that's what you want to do, just do it. You cannot do it because the money ain't that going government. You know what I'm saying? Now look at it. Look at it for what it is. You have friends, all right? And whatever friends you got, you know the conversation that you all are having, and you know the things that you all do as friends. How many of your friends are making decisions that cause your life to be uncomfortable? Not a one. Just go to the government. How many decisions have the government made that have made your life uncomfortable? Oh, man, did I say that? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The government. So you see, then at the end of the day, what the hell good is the government for you and your family? You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden the prices of gas is dropping. Why? They're getting close to the midterm in November. What month is this? August, September, October. Less than 90 days. So now all the gas prices dropping. Then they're talking about for Nubian people, the one they call black people in America, they got 50 different agencies to target the black vote. Why do they need the black vote? Okay. I told you this channel are for you all intellects. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is their census have shown them that the Caucasian, European, better known as white people, have died off tremendously to where they don't have enough numbers to pull it over anymore. In order for them to pull a vote, every single white person in the United States of America will have to vote the exact same. Because the Wall Street Journal put it out that 26 states in America for over a year now have had 0 white babies born. So that means they don't have the numbers anymore. Okay? And then if you want to know why they wilding out, all of a sudden it just done went buck down because of that, what's happening to them, and they know it. And it's nothing that anyone has done that has caused their gene pool to become extinct to where they can't produce babies anymore. We didn't do nothing to them. but they just like batshit crazy, man. You know. And so, for my people, those that are truly serious about, real serious about a better life, hmm, do you all know? And I'm talking about Nubian people, the ones they call black people. Black people, do you all know that there is an incredible amount of white people that have already left America? Hell, a lot of them in Africa. Believe it or not. I mean, ain't that a bitch? I mean, do you know how many white people living in Africa? When my people sitting up making all kind of wacky excuses about why they can't go to Africa, boy, you go to Africa, they take your passport, you can't come back. And they don't even know how many white people done already moved to Africa. This is what I'm trying to say. What the hell wrong with my people? If they have been convinced, by white people, oh, you don't need to go to Africa, man. They'll take your passport. Because why? He want to make sure he got a seat on the plane to get on up out of there. And that's absolutely true. You all will probably hear about it a little later on. Because I know some of y'all take all your news off CNN and CNN, Y'all can't even imagine how many white people running around Africa jumping and, buying up shit, driving the price of everything up because, and my people are still sitting over there talking about they're going to vote. Now they're getting ready to vote. Am I the only one to see that? If voting was that incredibly powerful, why the hell is black folks still going through the bullshit that we going through as a people, especially in America? I've been living in Israel for what year is this? 2022. Man, it's been so long. I need a calculator. Hold on. 1022 minus 19. When I come here, 81. 81. Whew. You all know I've been in Israel for 41 years. 41 years ago, I saw the bullshit that was taking place. I was like, what, 19, 20? Young dude, born, raised in Atlanta, Georgia, went through a bunch of riots. Oh, man. But I got a chance to travel. That was the key. See, that was the key. My mother and father started traveling with us at a young age. So that is what created and opened my mind to an international state. Yes, I was born and raised in Atlanta, but we traveled New York, Florida, you know what I'm saying, Alabama, Tennessee. And in those years, that was traveling. Going to Alabama was like going to another country, right across the border, But still, getting out there, getting on those planes, going to different states is what got me to, as a young man, to realize, hell, the world is big. So after I graduated high school and did some college and moved around, I got up out of the country, moved around, St. Petersburg, Russia, before Russia was even thought of. St. Pete, Russia, Moscow, over there visiting, walking around, Canada, Africa, North Africa, East Africa, West Africa. I got to get to South Africa. I still go there. You know what I'm saying? And then just reading and meeting people, it give you an international open mindset. And that America is not the only place to live and thrive. And what you see is happening today, it's really a sad state of affairs. It really ain't got nothing to do with being black anymore, just per se. I know we get beat down tremendously by these other nations. Now you got the Asians raising up on black people. I saw some stuff the other day on the internet. Some Hispanic, I think it's a Hispanic DJ. If I can think of the state, he been playing all African American music, rap music, and the brothers and sisters was out there and they had stepped to him because there was things that he did and said insulting to the African American community, being that he is Hispanic and he never played Hispanic music. In the Hispanics music, they got some banging stuff. I mean, they got some stuff that'll get you off your butt. What's that girl, Cardi B? My children was talking about Cardi B. I didn't know who she was because Cardi B, and I'm a professional DJ. Yep. But I didn't know who Cardi B was. My children were talking about it. So they turned me on to her song, I Like It Like That. I'm like, whoa, man, like, who is this? I'm listening to the beat and what? They said, yeah, that's Cardi B. That's Cardi B. What? Then I started listening to Cardi B, and then I was like, what the hell? Turn that shit off. She came through the door rocking with that. I like it like that. I'm like, man, this is good. Then she came out with that other stuff. I'm like, what the hell? But I'm mature to the young adults, so they cool. They got their heads screwed on right. Then here come Nicki Minaj. Then Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, what the hell? So this guy, he plays only African American rap music. And I gotta go back and remember because man, them brothers and sisters was up in his grill about something he did. I forgot. But I know the point was that they don't never play any their music, their genre. So now these people are whipping up and acting a fool and coming out on African American people, but African American people, you got to be more stronger. I mean, you got to, look, you all living in the land of barbarians with barbaric spirits and doing barbarian things. And if you don't wake the hell up one day and realize the reality, it's going to be rough, It is going to be rough. And I believe that one thing that's causing my people to misunderstand is that white Jesus thing. That white Jesus thing is embedded so deep in the psyche of black people, that they can't really come against the white man, the Caucasian, the Euro Gentile, because all of their lives they have been bombarded with this picture of this white boy that they say is the savior, that never been here, has not appeared in the cloud like the book says supposed to, never came down and did nothing for nobody. All of that stuff is based upon what you believe. Just because you believe it does not make it real. I'm going to say that again. Just because you believe does not make it real. That's just something you believe. And you have a right to believe what you want. You believe whatever. It's just like the people in India, they worship the cow as some god, deity or something. But that don't make the cow a god. It don't make the cow anything more than what it is, a cow. But because those people believe that the cow is something special, you better be careful messing around with that cow in India. You understand? So just because you believe it don't mean it's, so I'm saying now, in that belief system, and I know it very well, like anybody born in the time period that I was born in the 60s, you gonna get Jesus. Trust me. Your mother, your grandmother, they gonna make sure Jesus gets stuff down you till he run out your ears. And that was me, sitting in the church every Sunday in between my mother and grandmother. Jesus, well, my Lord, Father, hallelujah, hey, my Lord, yeah, y'all ain't with mine. Sound like I've been there, don't it? Walk with me. So all of that is deeply, deeply, deeply embedded in the psyche of my people, to a point where we are the most humble, we're the most loving, we're the most forgiving, we're the most caring, we're the most compassionate folks in the world. And doing that crap to demons that ain't got none of those attributes will run through you like you was not even there. But that has been given to us like that. All through that slave experience, we were, as a people, beat into accepting that. And it's so deep and so embedded in our psyche that we have people will literally argue you down. But it's just what you believe. That's it. And don't want to hear nothing else. You can't say nothing else to them. You can't, I mean, it's some people that listen to me, they stop listening right there. When I get to talking about Jesus, never existed. It's just a belief. Boom, they out, they gone. So look at the results. And see, this is one thing that I noticed when I was in Christianity real deep. Christians don't deal with reality. They don't deal with reality. Christians don't deal with realities. Like something simple, I would say, okay, if Jesus blessed you so tough, what results have you gotten that you honestly could show me that it was Jesus Christ that did that? Okay, all right, leave that alone. Don't. I see you struggling. Let me ask you this right here. You said they killed Jesus on the cross 2,000 years ago, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our Lord and Savior, they killed him on the cross. Okay, all right, 2,000 years ago. All right, cool, we got that. Now, after they killed him, he stayed dead for 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Yeah, a couple of days. He was dead. Mm-hmm. And he came back to life, right? Yeah. Now, this is what I want to say. All right. Now, do you see Jesus as being a God or a man? Oh no, he was the Son of God. You know, when you see God, you see me, and when you see my Father, and so they get to quoting him that stuff they don't memorize. I said, okay, then if he was a man and he died on the cross as a man in between two thieves, a man, right? What man do you know that have ever died and stayed dead for 3 days, came back to life? If he was a man, how did that happen? And so when I watched they struggle real hard, I said, okay, stop. Don't try to answer that. Leave that alone. But okay, I got another point I want to ask you. You say 2,000 years ago. Do you know I'm 60 years today? This is like a year ago when I was having this conversation. Yeah, okay. So when I was born, they were saying 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sin. I said, okay, 2,000 years ago. Now, 60 years later, they're still saying the exact same thing. 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. Stop right there. What kind of clock y'all using? What do you mean? What do you mean clock? I'm 60 years and you still saying 2,000 years. My 60 years don't count. You should be saying 2,060 years ago he died on the cross for our sin. You see what I'm saying? What? Y'all clock broke or something? You see what I'm saying? How you can be bamboozled with bullshit and don't even realize that you grow up Somebody fed you this crap and you never stopped once to think, wait a minute, is this good for me? Where did this come from? Why I got to eat this? How is this affecting my body? We didn't think like that. So I'm saying you still talking about 2,000 years ago when I've been all through Jerusalem, the Via Dolorosa, where they say he took his cross and went up to Calvary and everything. I'm 60 years and you cats still talking about 2,000 years. Wait a minute, something wrong. So for my people, and I grew up in Georgia down there where they say the Bible Belt, man, that Jesus Christ was so thick. You better not say anything against Jesus. Oh, my Lord and Savior. And I'm a little cat, and I'm watching this with a little childish thought process. And for a long time, I used to wonder as a little boy, why is he white? Everybody around me in Atlanta, Georgia, I grew up in the South, all them churches we went to was black. Why is it that Jesus is white? Shh. You think I said something like that to them? Ooh, no. I didn't say nothing like that until I was like 17, had moved out the house. Yeah, I was in my own house before I went back and had a conversation with my mother, because I wasn't going to run the risk of getting thrown in the street talking about her Jesus. I had my own house, so if she want to throw me somewhere, I just get in my car and boogie on back to the place. But the reason why I said all that about that religion is because what has happened to the state of mind of my people, religion has been one of the greatest detriment to everything my people have experienced in this world. Religion. Believing in a false entity and not doing it for yourself. Not being able to really think for yourself. And you see all the other nations and people, they doing things for themselves. They making it happen for themselves. They getting out, moving and grooving, taking care of their business, focusing on themselves, working together and building and moving on. And my people, we still shot the shrapnel. But at the same time, I want you to understand, I know that sound harsh, and it probably is harsh, and I don't realize it. The thing that I have to be compassionate about is that slave experience. What that did to my people. You know what I'm saying? And even the effect that it's having today. Where I remember history teaches us that there was a white man in Africa running around talking about, I'm your Lord and Savior. Everything we was dealing with back then was African Edenic. We didn't get no white savior until we went through that whole slave experience. And so that's why today I don't bother anybody when they say they believe in, Jesus Christ and everything. I don't get down on them hard. But if they talk to me about it, I know now how to speak to them with the effort to try to just get them to think a little bit, just step back and listen to what you're saying. Like you said, okay, this dude died on a cross for our sin 2,000 years ago. What exactly do you mean by that? A man died on the cross for our sins. Exactly. What do you mean by that? Inexplainable. Nobody can, even the part where it says in the Bible, God said, let us make man in our image. They could never figure out that he was talking to our mother goddess, who in this world have not had her proper space for her to dwell in. They've never given a female God the same reverence that they do the God that they claim the Bible. Okay, so when they talking about him, they supposed to be talking about her at the same level. And that would be more balance in the world. You understand? So those type things have been a major stumbling block in the process of our people getting their heads together, because every time you jump out and endeavor to do something, we run into this mental block that causes our people to not be able to get it done and not realize who your real enemy are, and then sit up and say America is the greatest country in the world at the same time you watching your brothers and sisters get shot down in the street like dogs by those that say are supposed to be protecting you. And then with a young brother like me come through, offer a suggestion, and let's go check something else out. Let's go check another country out. Let's go. What? Man, you go to Africa, they'll take your passport and you can't come back. The reason why I say that a lot, because that was like the biggest, dumbest, you know what I'm saying, and person that never traveled nowhere to say something like me. I have more right to say something like that. Oh, if you go over there, they'll take your passport. Why? Because I've been there. It's people that's never even traveled outside of the city they was born in, say some wacky stuff like that. Man, you go to Africa, they'll take your passport and you can't come back. From one who ain't never been nowhere. So my strong suggestion, get up and travel. Go see something else, man. Get the hell out of the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're so comfortable up there dealing with all that to where most black folk done became desensitized. That means that stuff happened to our people that the white folks are doing, and it don't even bother you. You know, it didn't happen to me. You know, you flip the channel and go watch some game or something, and then the brother done got his brain blew out by the police, and ain't nothing gonna happen to the police. They gonna get him a paid vacation, the one they call paid administration leave. And you see that stuff time and time again so much that, you know, for a moment you're like, damn, but then you just keep going. Let them do another one of them nations like that, the Asian, the Chinese, somebody, the Russians, you know what I'm saying, the Australians, the Japanese, jump up in there and do that. You know what I'm saying? Let the people from Estonia, a country you all never hear nothing about, let that happen to some of their people and see what kind of response they get, you know. But us, but at the same time, remember now how they have always, you know what I'm saying, used the strength of black people to fuel their world, robbing and stealing and pillaging Africa's resources, even stole the people off the land and used us, our ancestors, for their betterment, and have never allowed us to be free, not even in Africa. You know, I got a brother living over there, and he said, big bro, you wouldn't even believe. He said, these white folks over here, he said, then there ain't no old white people. He said, these young mofos coming up here try to dictate what should and shouldn't happen in Africa, who can and who can't. He said, can you believe that shit? No, Joker's half my age. He's like 60 something. He said, you got white boys and white girls running around here trying to dictate what the hell. I said, is it happening? He said, damn. He said, and they make it. He said, bro, you believe? Damn. I said, hey, you know, only thing gonna shut that down, bro, is when we be able to come together and unify. But see, now here's the issue with that unification. Them. That's the issue with it. Them. And who is them? Hell, those that don't like us, our enemies. Huh? I mean, you sit up here and pretend like it's not real or get mad because I said it. It's the absolute truth. The absolute truth. And until you wake up and realize it and smell the coffee and accept reality for what it is, you're going to keep getting your butt tapped by those that don't like us with no remorse. You know, they just do it. And then do it because they know they can, because who cares about black people, you know? Do you all know that once America went in and killed Muammar Gaddafi over in Libya, Libya now is the new slave trading nation, and not one European country have came to the aid of those brothers and sisters to shut that shit down. Why? Because all the European benefit from it. You know, they standing on the side watching what happened, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Can black people do anything? Nope. As a whole, why? Not organized, not unified. You know, you can catch some of them dusty Negroes out there on scrub, get them a few dollars, they turn flip for the white man like you ain't never seen before. I ain't know the dude could flip like that. Yeah, you know, white boy put some money in his hands, this joker get to turning flips like, yep, there you go. And so it's a dire situation for us as a people. Been that way actually for a long time. Now we dealing with the sons and daughters of those bandits that held us in physical slavery for hundreds of years. And it was a good business. The business of slavery, it was good for them, you know, making all that money with all that free labor. And for those of you may not know that the greatest expense in running any business is labor costs, paying salaries, payroll. It could be upwards of 75% of the money that you take in the business that you're dealing with has to be paid in salaries. And the 25% left is for other bills and responsibilities, and then you get what's left. I mean, it's a business, so you're making millions, but the fact is, if you paying 75% on labor costs alone, that means paying people to do the work, you have to think how much more money could you make if you got the labor free. And that's what made slavery such an incredible business that put the South on to a point where the North was jealous. You hear some of these white people running around, we fought a war to stop slavery, like that was such a beautiful thing. Shit, you had to remind them now who the hell started slavery. I mean, don't pop up here and be bumping off at the mouth like you done did something great. Damn it, who started slavery? Your damn family. Mitch McConnell's up there in the United States of America government come from slave-owning family. That's why it was easy for him to say, we ain't dealing with no reparation. We gave y'all a black president because his family owned slaves. You can see it right on the internet. You talk about his grandfather and father and the number of slaves they had, the name. You see all the information right on the internet. Mitch McConnell. So, and he's not the only one. There are other individuals in the U.S. government that come from slave-owning families. So if these people came from slave-owning families, what does that tell you? Then their mindset has to be in that same vein and thought process when it comes down to black people and the who, what, when, where, and why concerning blacks. You understand? Because they came from a slave-owning family, then their grandfathers, their fathers, you know what I'm saying, had to pass down that mentality in order to keep the business going from generation to generation. And so here you got an old cat like Mitch McConnell, you know what I'm saying? Can you kind of understand where I'm coming from? So these people have built their entire world on the backs of black folks. And one thing, they hate being called like this, what I'm sharing with you now, man, they hate to hear some brother pontificate and lay this stuff out like that. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to comfortably do their dirt without no one saying nothing. But this is a whole different season, 2022, and all of the crap that America done, that karma is coming back to bite them in the booty, whether they like it or not. The truth is the truth. And you can't outrun the truth, whether it's good for you or bad for you. It is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So my great motivation for leaving, exiting, getting away from those that have shown us that they hate us, don't feel like you running from the fight. First of all, if you're in a fight not winning, is it smart to keep fighting, getting your ass whooped? I'm just saying, for all of those that say, oh, I ain't running from the fight, that's a coward. Man, that's a bitch move, Nubian King. I mean, that's a punk. You running from the fight. But dude, you getting your ass whooped. I mean, look at you. Your eye all bloody, your nose swollen up, you damn near can breathe, and they about to beat the last little bit of life out of you. don't you think you need to step out of the ring and go get yourself together and figure something out? Because they done beat you to a pulp and you don't want to leave? Man, I got on that plane and said, screw this. Anybody can call me a punk all you want, buddy. I think I'm doing just fine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be no superhero to nobody. You feel me? I done been to some beautiful places in this world. Like, yes, in this little short lifetime I've been here, wow, you all over there fighting and getting your asses whooped. Man, Nubian King done been to some places. See, that's why I can tell you what I can tell you. I'm not just blowing smoke up your nose because I saw some stuff on the internet, a beautiful place on the damn YouTube. Brother been there, smelt it, felt it, ate it, loved it, lived it. You understand? Talking about relationship, man, I done been with some other females from other races that, man, please. Look, life can be lived right now, black people. And I hate to say that, because if I say Nubian folks, some of y'all may not even know who the hell I'm talking about, because you've been called black folks for so long that if I say Nubian, it's like, who is he talking to? I'm talking to you. Black people, look, you can be living, laughing, loving, having a great time right now, not worried about nothing. Like, okay, you all supposed to know now, I live in Israel. I've been in Israel for 42 years, right? Check this out. I was out here the other night. It's like 12 midnight. And I went and parked my car across the street. They changed the electric gate in the facilities. We got all, it's not a gate like probably y'all got in some of your communities over there. It's two bars that come down, because all of our parking lots are private to each unit, right? And so we have an electronic key that opens it. You know what I'm talking about. Well, the old one was giving us so much trouble, they decided to replace it all new. So I ordered my new key, talked with the guy. He'll probably be over here, I think, tomorrow night, Saturday night, to deliver it, right? So in the meantime, I parked across the street. And so the other night I was coming in late. I was doing a night shift, right? We finished out there at Intel. We finished that. I'm day shift now. But the other night I was coming in and it was late. The weather was so nice, man. I mean, it was nice. Not too hot, not too cold, just perfect. And do you know how many people were sitting out chilling? Old folks, young folks, everybody just everywhere. All the benches was full, folks just strolling, and I'm big black man coming in. Ain't nobody running and dodging and, oh shit, here's a nigga. No, they's like, shalom, little Asian girl and all of us over here together. Anybody running from me? Oh, this nigga, no. I don't even feel that. Police ride by, they cruising. They ain't worried about me. Oh, let's stop and check the nigga. He might have warrant. Get on the sidewalk. Put your hand up. What? Why? Why you did that? Oh, you resisting arrest. Next thing you know, you locked up. No, ain't none of that, man. I'm sitting out. When I used to drink beer, I stopped drinking beer like a year ago, right? I'm sitting over there on the beach, the little area, and the police cruiser, he ride by. And I had the cold in my hand, right? So believe it or not, now you I know you probably ain't gonna believe this, but when the police rolled by, the dude in the car, he's cruising along slow with two of. The dude in the passenger seat, he looked over and saw me, he threw his hand up and waved, and I waved with the beer in my hand. I waved, nodded my head, and they just kept cruising. You understand? And when the police stop, they don't be all like finna beat you and approach the car with the gun, hand on the gun. Like I was in Atlanta, right? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was coming from my sister's house and was in Atlanta, and I was driving up this street where the West End train station is at. And I know you don't know, but there's a street that you drive right into the train station, and the train station is going north, south. You driving east and west. And when you come to the intersection, you can take a left or a right. But at that intersection, it's a traffic light and it's a stop sign. Now, when I was coming to the intersection, the traffic light was on red, and then you had the red stop sign. But at the same time, over there, wait in the background is the train station. And that particular side of the train station, they put red tiles on the wall, and they kind of shining, real nice tile. So when I was driving up to the intersection, the traffic light actually blended in with the red tiles on the side of the train station, and I didn't notice it because those tiles are shiny too, and the lights was on out there at night, and the traffic light blended in. It was red, and the tile was red on the wall of the train station back there, and the traffic light. So I noticed the stop sign, and so I pulled to the intersection, and I stopped because of the stop sign. I noticed I didn't even see the red traffic light, and so I looked both ways, and way down there at the next corner was a car that just passed through the light. So I had plenty of time to go out here safely without, And so when I pulled out and I made that left, and the other car was coming toward me. Just as I got a few meters out there, on the top rim of my rearview mirror, I saw something green. And I looked, I said, wait a minute. If the light green on this side, damn, I just ran the red light. And the car that was coming towards me at 3:00 in the morning was Atlanta police. I be damn, I done just ran this red light. And I was supposed to fly back to Israel the next day. The next day I'm supposed to come back to Israel. I done got stopped by the Atlanta police. So what I did, I just smooth turned right into the parking lot of the train station. And I was sitting there asking myself, damn, how is it I didn't see the traffic light, the red light? And I happened to look up there on the wall of the train station, and I noticed all them tiles was red, shiny red tiles. I said, I'll be damned. That's how I missed the traffic light. But the police didn't miss me. Black guy, he gets out. And you see, this is the thing I do, and I got stopped plenty of time by the cops. And I got stopped one time, 3:00 in the morning in Texas, of all places, flying like a bat out of hell. I was guilty. I was wrong as too, just like this traffic light. I ran through the traffic light. Shit, I wasn't, man. So anyway, black cop, he gets out. He walks up to my car, but see, here's the deal that I do. It's at night, right? I let all the windows down, turn the music off. I turn all the lights on in the car, and I sit there with both hands on the wheel, 2:00 position, and I don't move. The cop walks up to the car with his, and I see him in the rearview mirror. He got his right hand on his gun. The thing, the strap, is already open. And he walks up to the car, and he bends and looks in the back seat and the front seat, and he don't see anything. The reason why I turn the lights on and let the windows down, because at night the windows can reflect light and make it kind of hard to see in there, depending on whatever angle. So I neutralize all of that by just letting all the windows down in the car, turning the lights on, window off. I'm sitting there straight ahead, hands to 2:00 position. So he comes to the car. Now he know, boom, ain't nobody else in the car. There's no threat. I'm sitting there. And he said, I need to see your license registration. I said, my license is in the centerpiece right here next to me on my right. Do I have permission to take my right hand slowly off the steering wheel and reach for my lights? He said, yes. The light's on in the car, but he takes his flashlight and click it on and shine it on that middle part to make sure he ain't about to pull no gun out there. Now he got his right hand on his gun and his left hand holding the flashlight. So I slowly take the right hand out off the wheel, put it in there, get the license, put him up on the steering wheel, and I use my left hand and I hand it to him. He said, okay, registration, proof of insurance. I said, that's over in the glove box. Do I have permission to remove my right hand slowly from the wheel, slowly reach for it, and give you the light? He said, yes. He took that light and shined it on there, and I slowly popped that glove box door open, and the light came on. You can see in the glove box. And I slowly pulled them papers out, handed it to him. And he said, oh, okay, be right back. I said, officer, can I say something? Is it possible to say something? He said, it wouldn't do you no good. And he walked back there, gave me a ticket. But see, I ran the red light. Atlanta, Georgia, 3 o'clock, black cop approached the car, no gun on his hand on his gun. And that's the way I handled it, right? Same thing out in Texas. I mean, I'm barreling through Texas. We got off work out there at the Hope Power Plant, 5 in the morning. I'm getting down to Houston, man. I'm flat-footing that baby just wide the hell open, middle of the night, 3:33 in the morning. And I'm boogieing. And all of a sudden, the blue light, whoa, whoa, whoa. I pulls over. Same thing, turn all the windows down, turn all the lights on, music off. It's a white cop this time. He comes to the car same way. He got the right hand on the gun, and he looking. Nobody else in there but me, sitting on the wheel, both hands, 10, 2 o'clock. He said, mister, how you doing tonight? I said, I'm great, officer. How you doing? He said, I'm fairly middling. I can tell he was a country boy. I'm fairly middling. He said, where you going, buddy? Such a hurry. Houston. Where you coming from? I said, Hope, Arkansas. He said, you realize the speed limit on the bottom there, that's for you're supposed to be driving that. I said, the bottom? Yes, sir. The top is for the day. Okay. He said, according to the traffic limit, sir, you 35 miles over the limit. I'm saying, good God Almighty. Man, I got nervous then, 35 miles. I'm like, I'm about to go to jail. So he said, I need to see your license registration, please. I did the same thing I did in Atlanta. All right. And he comes back to the car. I got CDL, no moving violation, no traffic, nothing. So the guy comes back. He said, Mr. Crowder, here's your license, your registration, proof of insurance. He said, Mr. Crowder, do you know your license is absolutely clean? You don't have any type moving violation on whatsoever. I'm like, yep, I know. He said, Mr. Crowder, you were speeding out here, 35 miles above the speed limit. And I really would hate to dirty up these licenses on something like that I know you got to be a good person because you have an absolutely clean record. You ain't got no priors, no criminal offense, no jail, nothing. He said, you is just about as spick and span. I said, well, I thank you. He said, I don't want to dirty this up right now. So I tell you what, Mr. Crowder, I'm going to just give you a warning. Back off it, buddy. You have a good trip. Now, remember now, them bottom post speeds out here for Texas at night. And I want you to run that for me. You know? You do that for me, Mr. Crowder? I said, yes, sir. All right. All right, buddy. You have a good night. Slow it down. Got you a nice car here. But, you know, I'm just saying, man, you know, it's just, you see, it's a way that you handle all situations with the power of thought and intelligence. There are no human beings on earth that you cannot master and come out on top. You understand? And that's one thing that I want to say is a relationship between us as a people. You know, when I speak, mostly it's to my people to assist my people. This whole mindset that we dealing with right now. You know, we have to start going into the power that we are blessed with. And I want to speak about that thing that you probably know about called melanin. Melanin is the substance that gives us our dark color. The darker we are, the more melanin we have. Melanin have a variety of things that it does. But one thing I want to point out right here before I go is melanin give us our ability to vibrate at the highest frequencies possible of the human mind. Melanin gives us an ability to vibrate at the highest vibratory frequencies possible of the human mind. One thing that melanin does, it gives us the ability to vibrate at the highest vibratory frequencies of the human mind. The darker one is, the more concentrated the melanin is, which means the more powerful his thoughts can be. That is the fundamental power behind that melanin that gives us such an incredibly mental ability that your enemy never wants you to tap into. This is why this relationship situation with Black people are in such a crisis, because we need each other to spark that higher vibration. Yeah. And see, I say that with nothing but love. Nothing but love. Now, listen. I know some of y'all probably, well, I don't want to say that because you may offend other people. Tough titty. I mean, truth is the truth. I mean, if you ain't got a lot of melanin and you ain't dark, you light, you white, hey man, they know what they're going through. In a little while, it won't even matter. You know why? Just like they reported now, not me. I'm not telling you this because I'm pulling this out my ass. They reported through their census and through their agencies that 26 states in the United States of America have reported 0 white babies. So what does that mean? They're dying off. And there's nothing they could do about it. I didn't do it. You didn't do it. They came with a expiration date. But see, this is the information your enemy never wanted you to know about your ability. It's like a superpower that Black people have that you was never been introduced to. Where if this the first time you heard it, this the first time you heard it. But at the same time, yeah, there's a reason why a greater majority of the energy of certain white people, not all of them, because you got a lot of white folk, they don't have a clue. Some of them listen to me now. It's the first time they done heard it and they don't want to hear it. They, because they white. And melanin comes in dark people. And the blacker you are, like the Sudanese, man, when I lived in Africa, it was the most wow. Like when I first got to Ghana, you know how they call you? Like some people say, hey, like that. That's hey. In Africa, when I was in Ghana, they would call you like, but they could say it'd be loud, like they call somebody calling you, and then they'll motion with their hand. You know what I'm saying? Every single thing, man, in Africa is so daggone spiritual. It's crazy spiritual, So you have a lot of white people running around. They like it, but they can't access it. You have a lot of white people running around, but they can't access that. Am I concerned with saying that? No. It's just reality. That melanin is so important to brain function. Little old me ain't going to be able to just conceptualize it all right here in this little conversation. Melanin, now you know why a lot of our young people minds are targeted with this degraded music. When I was younger, because I ain't an old man, 61 don't make me old. If you know the history of our ancestors living 700, 800, 900 years on the planet, those are our people, our ancestors. So you got a brother, he's 789 years, and he got children 102 and 98. When he leave to go to the brothers' meeting, he tell the wife, baby, don't forget to get the babysitter for the babies. Hell, the baby's 98. But shit, I guess as the father, 782, that would be a baby at 98 years old. You can't come to the meeting until you reach 200. And y'all can sit on the back of the meeting and say nothing, just listen. All the brothers up front is like 700 to 800 years on the planet. So all them jokers sitting in the back row, they 200 or less, like, from 50, in between 50 years and 200. You get to sit in the meeting on the back row and say nothing. Because these brothers up here, they 700 and 800. You can't even ask a question till you get to be 400. You can ask a question, that's it. And you can't have no opinion till you reach 600 years. Not with these brothers. That's the way it went. So the melanin, again, gives us the ability to vibrate at the highest vibratory frequency possible of the human mind. Now, relationship with the African American man and woman is at a crisis. Why? Because we need each other to unlock the greatest power of the mind. It's like that. We need each other to unlock the greatest power of the mind. The harmony between the Nubian king, Nubian queen, the black man, and black woman is needed between the two to unlock the power, the greater power of our psychological mental abilities. So what's happening with the black man and black woman relationship? It's at all time terrible, especially with the young folks. Brother Kevin Samuel dead. Now they saying, "Oh man, we miss Kevin." You didn't miss him when he was here there telling you this, the truth. Now he gone. Oh, I miss him. It'd be real funny. You miss people that can't check your button. Tell you the truth. That's it. Why is it that our relationship seems to be at all time worse? And it be all over the internet, with our sisters talking all this stuff and our brothers talking all this stuff, and ain't nobody getting together. You know what I'm saying? The sisters is talking all this wacky stuff about me and this, me and that, me and this, me and that, and single as a one. Can't buy a man. And if you get one, can't hang on to it. In America, you got all of these different things that's running around in your brain that's keeping you from being able to have a relationship. They call modern women. And going to bed by yourself. See, that ain't going to work because why? We are not created to be alone. So it works against you. I don't care how good you wrap it up and say it. It is not natural. You see, it's like big people. See, I can talk about it because I'm a big brother. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm a big brother, like big people. Ain't no big people running around happy with that shit. You get off that. Trying to tie your shoes up, man. You sweating so damn hard. Like, get in the elevator, go to work. People look at you like, you all right? Like, hell, it's 6:30 in the morning. The hell you sweating like that for? Tie my shoes up. You all right, bro? Damn. Got so much sweat on you, man. Yeah, I'm a big brother. Hell, I went out shopping yesterday, man. Like I've been to the swimming pool, not the gym. Dude, did you dive in the swimming pool? You need a towel? Just fat, man. Just big. And don't like it. And I ain't even finna try to fool myself. Oh, I'm tick. You see that shit? How we just make up stuff to try to, I'm tick. Oh man, I'm just tick. I'm just tick. You tick. Nigga, please. Get your big butt out on the track and run. See, I can say that because I work out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had an accident and I was shut down for 4 months sitting around the house. Man, please. Yeah, I picked up some weight. Yes, when I bend over and try to put my shoe, not try to, but when I put my shoes on, I bust out sweating, man. Jokers be like, damn, you all right? So, I can talk about fat folk because I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to try and justify and accept it and just be that. I'm not comfortable with it. All right. So, and I'm not going to allow no skinny mofo try to tell me about losing weight. Dude, if you ain't been over 300-400 pounds, I don't want to hear it. You standing there with a six pack that you built from skinny, took some protein, did some working out, boom, you got some muscle. Your ass ain't been 400 pounds. Cause I know I see that shit that you doing. That ain't for me. And none of us big folks. You got to start off with some stuff that we can do. First and foremost, you got to talk to my mind. Because I know what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? It's psychological. Because why? I can start on the program, but I don't never stick with it long enough for it to actually work. And I know what I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we know we got to not cut calories, more calories out than in. Exercise, walking, whatever like that, But I'm nursing back injuries and I got to still be careful. Now I can do some things, but I have to be careful. And so the first thing I have to put it in my mind as to what exactly to do and get consistent enough that I do it long enough that it affect the body in a positive way. And that is a part of that psychological strength. But check this out. I'm single now. I don't have a significant others around me. I don't have a significant other around me right now that, I come home to and be with, sit down, talk, and all that beautiful thing that you do when you're in love. See, that unleashes a whole nother type of beautiful spirit and energy and feeling and chemicals in you. When you hug somebody for 20 seconds, that releases a lot of stress. And then, you got somebody to talk to in the house, give you some conversation. You got some good loving you can get. So that changes a lot. It takes a lot off you. But when you like me, single, working hard every day, you coming home, you get you know what I'm saying, some food, and it just be comfort food. But that ain't, you know what I'm saying? So that's the power of that relationship. But the relationship between the brother and sister, the Nubian king, Nubian queen, the black man, black woman, however you want to, it has to be a relationship built upon harmony. You understand? And see what that does, it will allow us to reach that ultimate power that is available to melanated people. You see, we talking about melanated people, but I want to say again, the key to the melanin is the more melanin, the more powerful we are and we can be psychologically on a mental basis. And that melanin causes you and us that's dark to be able to vibrate at the highest vibratory frequencies capable by the mind. Now, that is what would take us into a realm where we now can psychologically dominate our enemy. It's just like in the movie The Matrix that I know you saw. When Neo crossed over after the woman kissed him, brought him back to life, when the agent shot the bullets down at him, he said no. And the bullets stopped. Now, the reason why I say the brother and sister, the melanated brother and sister, the melanated couple has to be together working in harmony is the incredible sister Sophia Stewart that wrote in The Matrix. I've had several conversations with her, and she's explained a lot of the key points about the movie. Right now, what I'm sharing with you now is about the relationship between the black man and black woman, the Nubian king, Nubian queen. It has to be a relationship built upon spiritual harmony that would allow you to access that power that Sophia Stewart showed visually after the woman kissed Neo. He came back to life and boom, was able to stop the bullets. So what is my point? Because she loved him and didn't want to lose him, she kissed him and it brought him back to life. And once he came back in another realm of consciousness to where he knew then he could stop them bullets. And he said no, and they stopped. Now, you remember when he tried to jump after Morpheus jumped? At that point of his training, he was in the belief stage. Why did he even try to jump? Because he believed he could do it based upon what Morpheus had just done before him. But in his mind, he was still at the point of believing, which when you believe in something does not necessarily unlock the power of it. You have to transcend from believing to knowing. And when that girl kissed him and he came back in the realm of knowing he could stop them bullets, and he stopped them. The reason why he fell when he jumped is because he just believed it. But he really wasn't sure. He believed it because Morpheus did it in front of him. But that belief didn't open him up to the power, and he fell. But when that girl kissed him, and he came back, and he looked down, saw them holes in him. So shit. He said, no, boom, stop the bullet. So this is the point that I'm sharing with the Nubian melanated people, and the blacker you are, the more psychological powerful you can be. This is another point to be thankful that you was born black with all that melanin in you. And now the Nubian king is unlocking the power of your mind, and that is what your enemies never wanted you to get to. Your mind. Listen. And a lot of our people don't even know what I'm talking about. A lot of our people have never heard it. But check this out. Here you got African American rappers born and raised in the Bronx in New York, in Queens in New York, in Staten Island in New York, and never left New York. And in New York, you could sell 1 million records and make gold, and only sell in New York because you got in the 5 boroughs, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, and the Bronx, 30, 40 million people. And out of all those people, you could make a record, sell it on the airways in New York, and sell 1 million copies right there in those 5 boroughs and never leave America. And have Chinese in China wearing their baseball caps backward, a football jersey, sagging, rapping on the stage in China, holding a Johnson. That is the power that they don't even aware of. And I mean, they didn't do nothing but make a record in New York. You follow what I'm saying? But that record has so much spirit, beat, rhythm, and rhyme. You got Chinese on the other side of the world rapping in Mandarin Chinese because they done seen them powerful brothers and sisters do it in America. That emanated so much spirit, so much power, so much rhythm, and it was so attractive and mesmerizing. Now, can you imagine if them same creative geniuses, you hear what I said? Those same creative geniuses, did you hear what I'm saying? Those same creative geniuses knew how to direct that energy, and that's what your enemy don't want you to know. If those same creative geniuses knew and understand how to focus and direct that power, whoo, man, I better shut up. They're going to be running out the door. If those same creative geniuses knew how to focus and direct that power, good God Almighty, that's what I'm talking about. You don't even have to have a gun because you can stop the bullets. You can stop the mind. You can control the mind of the individual with the gun, with the power that I'm talking about. When that black man and black woman, that Nubian king, when you come together in spiritual harmony, just like when she kissed him and brought him back to life, he said no, because he had transcended from believing to knowing he could do it. And not only did he jump, damn it, he started flying by the end of the movie. That's what I'm talking about. That is it. That's it. And for those of you all that hung out with me to this point, you got a treat, didn't you? You didn't even know you had that. You didn't even know it was a real good thing to be black, packed full of melanin. You didn't even know that about yourself. So that's why it's key to hook up with another melanated person. You follow me? Not of the Euro-Gentile barbaric set. I know. Yeah. I know they gonna be uncomfortable. I know they listen to me, and I know they didn't want to hear that. But that is the truth. That just it. And hey, I didn't do it like that. I didn't make it like that. I didn't put it together like that. But that is the honest, cold truth. That melanin is so key. And the last thing I'm going to say is the most expensive substance on this planet is melanin, whether you knew it or not. More expensive than platinum, titanium, uranium, gold, silver, melanin. Yeah. If you didn't know that. Melanin. So you should feel much better about yourself when you close this out. Yeah. And just think, the darker you are, the more melanin, the more intense and more focused your mind could be. Now, you saw how Morpheus trained Neo, right? But he didn't cross over until what? The woman kissed him. And so that's why it's so incredibly key that these black brothers and sisters somehow or another get their heads together and get together so you can access that power. Single sisters can't do it on their own. Single brothers can't do it on their own. It has to be that we get together in spiritual harmony to make it happen, to access that power. And you'll have people to hear this and they'll be saying, oh man, that nigga crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. That's just a bunch of hogwash. I know a white guy that channel. Well, guess what? They didn't know nothing about channeling until I did an interview on the YouTube. And the sister mentioned that during the interview, she saw me channel some history that we did when King David was here in this land. She said that because of the way I was explaining the explicit details. She mentioned that a few years ago. Then I heard this white guy come out talking about channeling. See, one thing about your enemy, he always tried to get ahead of anything that he see that has a potential of either destroying him or throwing a monkey wrench in his program that you got. Okay. And then he tried to usurp it and act like he's the master of it. Just like that dissertation I gave about the pineal gland. The pineal gland, when they found out when the body was coming back from the war in Vietnam, they was doing the autopsies. They found that the European, the Caucasian, the white people pineal gland was calcified like rock. And the brothers and sisters was flesh, just like the brain. Okay, so look at that black skin and say, whoo, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And you have the ability to rock that mental, psychological power. And it's going to be that relationship between that Nubian queen and Nubian king. And I ain't talking about some girl running around just calling herself the queen and she's a stone knucklehead. And I ain't talking about no brother that's running around talking about he's a Nubian king. He's a stone knucklehead. The knucklehead, you know, you have you ever seen who's that old white woman over there in England, Queen Elizabeth? Is that her name? You ever seen her twerking and doing dumb shit? Nope. Okay. So what does that mean? You're a queen, you got to do the things that a queen do. You're a king, you got to do the things that a king do. You see how, you know, my objective is to keep it balanced. I'm not going to say the sisters all nuts and need to teach the sisters. I'm going to say it balanced. The brothers all nut and you need to teach the brothers. You got to keep it balanced. Okay? But that to me is behind that whole problem with the young brothers and sisters coming together. And I'm seeing them like 30 and 40s, you know, that's young compared to 70 and 80. And the morals have gone out the window, just completely gone. I listened to this brother. He was doing this show. These young brothers in the street out there somewhere in America, and he was just randomly asking people certain questions. And he asked this one sister, "What's the most kinkiest thing you ever done?" She said, "I had sex with a brother and his mother." He like, "What?" "I had sex with a brother and his mother." His stepmother. No, his birth mother, biological mother. He said, "You had sex with the brother and his mother?" She said, "Yeah." And it was crazy. It was good. Man, the dude looked like, damn, I wish I never asked that. He said, "You had sex with a dude and his mama?" She said, "Yeah." And she got down there and polished his knob. And he said, "Come on, mom, do what you do best." He said, that's what he said to his mother. "Come on and do what you do best." And she got to polishing his knob. That means that's something that she do on a regular. If he said, "Come on, mom, do what you do best," and she down there doing that, and the sister joined in with him, and she said it was nice. She said it was great. And I mean, she was talking about this subject so lighthearted. Hell, I ate my lunch, man. My stomach started turning. Damn. This is where it's at now. Yeah, for some people. And I can't even. I gotta stop that because I just ate, and you know my mouth is like my stomach. I can't even. You know, and it's like so mind-boggling how 4 hour, too many of our people. If one sister talk like that, that's too damn many for the queens that you all are, for the kings that you all are. One of y'all talking like that is too daggone much for who you are. I mean, if you were like one of them, whatever, that's what they do. But over here, to hear, and I mean, she was a nice looking sister. She looked like she might have been 35, 36, maybe more or less, whatever. But she was a nice looking sister. Yes. She didn't look like she had to do nothing like that. She looked like she'd have got any kind of, you know, beautiful brother or whatever, but damn. And she stood right there on the sidewalk and just talked about it. And you know what made it even worse? It was another sister off camera listening and was laughing. Oh, man, you know. So I'm like, am I wasting my time talking? You know, like, damn, seriously? Yes, that's exactly what she said. But I haven't given up hope, and I don't feel that I am wasting my time because of the fact that some of you all, you know, you come to my channel, you listen, you get inspired, you like the conversation, you like the dialogue, and it's you all that motivate me to keep speaking because it's a lot of madness out there. And The problem with this world is these barbarians have taken over, and they run this world according to a barbaric mentality. Now they talk bad about Africa and black people and everything like that, but and they say, we civilized the savage beast. Dude, I don't know if sitting up in damn bumper to bumper traffic an hour and a half to drive 20 miles is real intelligent, civilized. You understand? When I see these people out here living, laughing, and loving out there on that island, Sentinel Island, right off the coast of India, that India was smart and established a 30-mile no-go zone that nobody go to that island. And those people have been out there, don't nobody know how long. They don't know what language they speak. They don't know absolutely zero about those beautiful people. And yes, they are black. Yes, they live on the island. They don't have a shipment once a month, no contact with the rest of the world whatsoever. When helicopters fly over just to look, they throw spears up there at them. That's how they get out. They throw spears. And they are there. They have no medical boats to show up every now and then. They don't have no supplies of food or anything to show up every now and then. No water drop off every now and then. They are totally self-contained on that island, and there's no telling how long they have been there. And India was smart by setting up a 30-mile no-go zone, and everybody respect that. Don't nobody go within 30 miles of the island, but goddamn it, except the white American. I be damn. Here we go. This mofo, no respect. Out of all the nations on the world, nobody disregarded that but the white man from America. See, you see what I'm saying? They don't fail to let me down. They if India set up a 30-mile no-go zone and they say strictly nobody, not anybody, they don't even from India go, and it's their sovereign territory. They don't even go out there. No one from the Indian government goes to talk to find out if they need anything, nothing. They leave them alone, and they just living and continuously. But here come the American white guy. Well, I tell you the truth. And so when you point they shit out to them, they get real mad. Oh, saying all that, you racist. Well, who gives a shit? So what? If I'm racist, so what? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, here you got the people that have dropped bombs on more nations in the world, started more wars than anybody in the world, killed more innocent people than anybody in the world, pointing their damn finger at somebody talking about some goddamn human rights violation. Americans. Can you imagine that? And out of all the people on planet Earth, all the nations on planet Earth respected the Indian 30-mile no-go zone. Here come the one damn American. Now, two of them. One got killed. They couldn't get to his body because them people were spearing him to death. So I don't know. His body probably just buried in the sand, but it laid on the beach for a long time. Then there's one white boy. He do an interview. He does an interview. What's his reason? He say he gonna go out there and deliver the word of Jesus. You see, there you go. With them black folk. Why the hell the first thing you want to take a bunch of black folks living on the island is goddamn Jesus? You see what I'm saying? You see how they do that? Don't go in there with Jesus Christ first. Come in like, oh, I'm so holy. And know what? Every damn body be dead because he surely was carrying some type of bacteria. Y'all remember the other story? White boy walks off into the woods, Amazon, naked because he tired of the world. And a short time later, all the indigenous people out there was dead because he had a bacteria on him that they couldn't deal with. Just like the doctors told us. He said, look, we're surrounded by bacteria all the time. And our bodies build up a natural immunity against that. All right. And so if you just always not breathing the normal air, then your immune system drops. You follow what I'm saying? Something like that. And so this guy, he does a little interview before he goes out there. He gonna take him the word of Jesus. And the local boat people told him you can't go out there. But of course, he came with that American dollar to a bunch of folks that was in need, gave him some dollars, and they said, "Okay, look, we'll take you close, but we can't go to that island." So they did. They took him close, and the rest was on his own. So he got up on the beach, and those people promptly started sticking him full of holes, speared him to death, died out there in the sand in the hot sun. And when the helicopter flew over, they laid out there in the sun, dead. That's what they thought about your Jesus. But those people, beautiful, black, incredible, intelligent people living in total peace and harmony. No cars, no factories, no chemicals, no genetically engineered, modified food stuff. And they going on and on. They got the long range cameras that they can take pictures. They come out and be swimming in the water. And they look so happy and healthy. You understand? They don't have no medical dental association for the pediatrics, none of that, healthcare stuff. And you talking about your healthcare here, over 51% of your people fat as hell. Look. But you're going to say they barbarians and need to be civilized. Okay, so if I look at them out there in that water and on that island, slim and healthy, and then I come look at your society, 52% or more people fat as hell. Oh, no. I'm going out here on this island, partner. Shit, you know what I'm saying? And so this is just incredible, Damn. Y'all got to think, man. I mean, you really, really got to take your time and start thinking. Other than that, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you subscribed if you're still there. And hit the like button and also the bell, notification bell. And I had a nice time. I enjoyed chopping it up with you. The person I was waiting on didn't show up. So what to do? Life goes on. Nevertheless, I love you. And I hope you all, are doing really good. I hope your relationships are great. And if you're single, I hope you get a beautiful relationship going so that you can tap into the power that our enemies never wanted us to know is available to us. We got that. We got it. Okay? Hey, love you with a perfect love. This has been the Nubian King, broadcasters from Israel, Northeast Africa, doing it for you just because I love you. I love you so much from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means what? I love you all the time.